From The National, this is Trending Middle East. I'm Yasmin Al-Taji. It's Friday, April 25th. Here are today's headlines. Hamas and Israeli negotiators are engaged in what have been called serious talks in Cairo on a potential ceasefire in Gaza. That's according to sources speaking to The National on Thursday. They said the proposals presented by Egyptian and Qatari mediators detailed a truce lasting 5 to 7 years. The National's Hadya Alawi joins us with more.
So the latest proposal by the mediators, what's interesting about it is the length of the truce. So the 5 to 7 years proposal, which is in a way probably a compromise between what Israel wants and what Hamas wants. Hamas has always demanded the full Israeli withdrawal, the end of hostilities completely and indefinitely, whereas Israel has always been sort of adamant to keep the truce to a few weeks or a few months maybe.
The agreements under discussion would also see Israeli withdrawal from Gaza in exchange for Hamas laying down its arms and the release of the remaining 59 hostages held by Hamas in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian detainees in Israel.
We've seen other proposals for the truce between Israel and Hamas in the last few weeks, in the last few months. They had agreed initially on a truce which includes a few phases. After the first phase expired, the second phase didn't go into effect, and we've seen that Israel continued its strike on Gaza, continuously killing civilians, and it said that it doesn't want to stop fighting unless Hamas is completely eradicated.
Meanwhile, Israel's blockade on Gaza threatens to create a breeding ground for polio. According to the enclave's health ministry, more than 600,000 children in Gaza are at risk of contracting the disease as Israeli authorities continue to block the entry of vaccines.
So there are a number of issues that remain at odds between the two. For example, the Palestinian prisoners that Hamas wants them released, some of them are actually serving life sentences, and Israel is refusing to release them. Another point is actually Hamas's demand that Israel hands back the body of the late leader Yahya Sinwar, who was killed last year in Gaza by Israel. Although the negotiations are more serious this time and Hamas is showing some flexibility, it's been reported, but it still remains to be seen whether that proposal is going to be accepted by both parties.
Tensions are flaring between India and Pakistan. Among a number of punitive measures, India has suspended visas for Pakistanis and given them 3 days to leave the country. It's a major escalation following a terrorist attack in Indian-controlled Kashmir. The move is part of a diplomatic offensive by New Delhi against Islamabad. India has blamed Pakistan for the attack on Tuesday that killed 26 people, though it hasn't made public any evidence supporting that claim. Pakistan denied any connection to the attack. A previously unknown militant group calling itself the Kashmir Resistance claimed responsibility. India and Pakistan each administer a part of Kashmir, but both claim the territory in its entirety. New Delhi describes all militancy in Kashmir as Pakistan-backed terrorism. It's an accusation Pakistan has adamantly denied. Many Muslim Kashmiris consider the militants to be part of a homegrown freedom struggle. The Lebanese parliament has approved a law aimed at removing banking secrecy in the country. It's a key reform that the International Monetary Fund had demanded in order for it to deliver a $3 billion package.
Whilst that secrecy was one of the reasons why Lebanon essentially became a banking hub in the region, in recent times it's also been viewed as a tool to cover for alleged corrupt practices.
The National's Prentis reports from Beirut.
Now, the deal with the IMF was agreed 3 years ago in April 2022, but that deal was contingent on a number of conditions being met, and they related to economic reform, including the lifting of the banking secrecy law. Lebanon had been accused of dragging its feet in implementing these reforms, but it's come under renewed international pressure in the last few months. And the situation is particularly acute because after Israel's war on the country, Lebanon is in desperate need for outside help in reconstruction. But international donors have also made economic reform a key condition for any aid in the future.
Former central bank governor Riyad Salameh has been detained over charges of embezzling public funds. His son Nadi Salameh is among close relatives of top officials accused of transferring money abroad and evading the withdrawal restrictions faced by most Lebanese.
Lebanon's been embroiled in an economic collapse for years. This collapse, which first became apparent in 2019, has been blamed on decades of financial mismanagement and corruption.
The reform comes against the backdrop of a years-long economic crisis and shifts in the country's overall political makeup. That's all for this morning's headlines. You can get these stories and follow live updates at our site. Yasmin Al-Taji, The National.